Zach's Know Your Options, a weekly overview of unique option strategies and ideas designed to help you beat the market no matter which direction it's going. This time around, we're going to talk about what your time is worth and how to choose the right options. Put them both together, I think they equal time value is really what the conversation is going to be about with Kevin Matras, our options guru here at Zacks.com. Did I guess right?
Yeah, you did. What's interesting is, people really do struggle with how much time they are supposed to buy when they select their options. Mm-hmm. And I would say, aside from determining whether they should buy a call or a put, I would say determining how much time to get is probably one of the most critical elements when it comes to option selection. And, options trading has a ton of benefits, right? But if the clock runs out on your trade, it's game over. So that's why this is just so important.
You have kind of a unique way of explaining this whole concept. I don't know if I've ever seen it explained or illustrated this way before.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. First off, as a rule of thumb, for me, in my opinion, I think that when you are buying an option, err on the side of time. Buy more time than less. Now, the illustration I'm going to go over, it's a very cool illustration. It shows why it makes so much sense. I should also point out, too, that I did not invent this. I read this a long time ago, but when I read it, it just made so much sense to me. It actually helped shape the way I buy options, so I wanted to share it with everybody today. So check this out, all right? Let's say you bought a stock XYZ, and let's just take a look at three hypothetical options, all right? You've got an April 90 call with a premium of 6, and that has 5 weeks of time. Then you have a June 90 call at 9, that has 13 weeks of time. And then you have a September 90 call at 12, and that has 27 weeks of time. Now, what's interesting is that if you are bullish on a stock, you probably are expecting to see that stock move up immediately, and it very well may do so. But what if it doesn't? If it doesn't, you're going to find yourself, scrambling on what you're supposed to do with that position, because when you are picking an option, it's slightly different than a stock. With a stock, you have to be right on the direction, but with an option, you have to be right on direction, and you also have to be right on the timing. Mm-hmm. The question you got to ask yourself is, will the stock move X amount between when I bought this option and expiration? What's interesting is that, and unfortunate, is that too many people will skimp on time because they think they are saving themselves an extra couple of $100. But oftentimes, just an extra couple of weeks can make the difference between having a profitable stock or a profitable option trade or a losing options trade. So it's very, very critical. And what we're going to show in a second is it also makes the most sense because it provides the greatest amount of value for an investor.
All right, well, let's get to it, the unique part.
Yeah, so check this out. So if we go back to the April 90 call, right?
All right.
The April 90 call, premium of 6, 5 weeks of time. So the way you would figure it out is you would say $600 divided by 5 weeks. That means you're paying $120 per week. So again, essentially you're paying $120 for each week of time that you've purchased, right? Now let's go to the Junes. The June calls, that was a premium of 9, right? So $900 divided by 13 weeks, that means you're paying $69.23 per week of time that you purchased for that one.
Okay.
Now if we roll over to the Septembers had a premium of 12. $1,200 divided by 27 weeks, that means you're paying $44 per week of time that you purchased. So what this illustration shows is this. The September options are a far better value than those other options because for the Septembers, you're only paying $44 per week of time that you purchased versus $69 and $120 worth of time. Now, if those September options, if you believe those are just a little bit too expensive for you and you think to yourself, man, I don't need that much time, I would still say that your June options are still the better value than the April options. And you can see this through the illustration. Now, the other thing I would say too is, options are a wasting asset. So if you have more time, that's going to give you a greater chance to see that trade turn out successfully. But there's also this thing, when you come, let's say 45 to 30 days prior to expiration, right? When you are about a month to a month and a half prior to expiration, you get into this time decay red zone. That is when you see your option premium, the time value, start to deteriorate the most quickly, right? So if you find yourself approaching that red zone, or if you are in that red zone, I would strongly suggest that you get out of that option, whether you're profitable or whether you're unprofitable. Get out of that option, roll it into an option with more time, because again, that will indeed increase your chance for success. But this illustration, I hope, shows that not only is time important to increase your probability of winning on a trade, but again, if people are interested in getting the greatest bang for their buck, the most value on their purchases, this clearly shows that paying a little bit more now can pay off hugely down the road.
There should be a toothpaste or something for that time decay thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though. I've never seen it quite explained this way before.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because when you look at these different things, and there's unique ways of explaining all of these different terms for options. But if you can look at it in different ways, it can really reshape how you look at trading, and especially for options. Options are not a scary tool. Options are one of the most fantastic tools you can use for every investor. If you're new to options, you owe it to yourself to start learning about options. And if you're a pro at this, but you haven't really looked at it this way, start doing it, and you may be able to see yourself increasing your gains down the road.
All right. If you're not at our website, you can go there, Zacks.com, read all about it, time value, along with other interesting options articles there, all information to help you know your options. With Kevin Matras, I'm Terry Ruffalo.